Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Datejust 41 in stainless steel and yellow gold two-tone reference 126333 with a golden fluted motif dial on a Jubilee bracelet. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the history of the Datejust, then go into where this watch stands in the lineup with others similar to it, then talk to you about the case, bezel, dial, bracelet movement, try it on finally, and give you my thoughts. So let's start with the history. Now, Datejust is Rolex's most iconic, famous, popular, and most produced line of watches, and it makes sense because this watch is recognizable across the entire world. Everybody who sees this, well, anyone who knows about watches, who sees this watch will recognize it immediately. Okay, and as such, Rolex makes the Datejust in many different sizes. For women, they make it in size 28, 31, and 36 millimeters. For men, they make it in size 36, 41, and you might even say they make a Datejust 42, aka the Sky Dweller. So small, medium, large for men as well. This would be like kind of the either the large or the medium size, depends on how you look at the Sky Dweller. Okay, so that's where this watch stands in the lineup, and the history, as I just told you, there's a lot of history about it, but basically it's as I said, it's their longest standing line. Okay, now let's move on to the case here. The case is stainless steel, and it's 41 millimeters from my thumb to my index finger, the 8 o'clock to the 2 o'clock position, the longest distance across the bezel. That's 41 millimeters. Okay, and if you turn it on its side to see the profile, you'll see that it's 12 millimeters in height, which is also a good height. It's not too big, it's not too thin. And you don't want it to be either because the watch needs to have balance. And being 12 millimeters, that achieves that. Okay, and 41 millimeters, by the way, it's perfect for someone who has a wrist size of 7 inches or larger or 8 inches or smaller, between that range. So if you have a wrist size smaller than that, you probably should go with a 36. If you have a wrist size bigger than that, probably you should go with a Datejust 42 or aka Sky Dweller. Okay, now the case is made of stainless steel. As I told you, Rolex uses the best stainless steel, 904L steel, which is a grade of steel that is the best, most anti-corrosive, and it's also very difficult to work with. Not a lot of brands work with it. Rolex does so, of course, because they're the premier watch brand. I would actually say that they're the best, most successful watch brand in the world. I don't know about best, that's a subjective thing, but the most successful, that's for sure, it's Rolex. Okay, so that is the case. Now, let's move on to the bezel here. The bezel is an 18 karat yellow gold bezel. It's made of 18 karat gold, and Rolex mixes its own gold in its own gold foundries to put the right proportions so that the gold has the same consistency and flawlessness, no porosity, and perfectness every single time. And it makes sense since they're the world's best or most successful watch company, it makes sense that they would do that. Now, the fluted bezel itself is also Rolex's most iconic look. I would argue, probably, I think I would be right when I say that the fluted bezel is Rolex's signature. In fact, actually, I just read that off their website. So it makes sense that they would put it on their most popular and most iconic line, their Rolex signature, which is the fluted bezel. The bezel, interestingly, used to have a functional purpose, which was to screw the bezel onto the case, allowing the waterproofness of the watch. It no longer does that. They figured out other ways, but it nevertheless has maintained its aesthetic, distinction by being on the front of the bezel, front of the watch, so that it's Rolex's signature. Rolex also makes the bezel in a dome bezel, a fluted bezel, and they actually also make a diamond bezel, but they don't put the diamond bezel on any of the Datejust. They reserve that for the day dates, which are made in precious metal. But if you do want a diamond bezel, we can do that for you at jazztime.com, which is custom. It's not a Rolex part. We can make the bezel and place it on. We've done it for many other customers. So you can see that by going to our website at jazztime.com. Okay, let's move on to the dial here. Now, the dial, Rolex calls this dial the golden fluted motif. Now, it kind of just looks champagne to most people, including myself, but not really fully champagne. The champagne was a darker color. This golden, they call this the golden motif. And as you see, it kind of looks like gold. And you see these little motifs in here. And what those are actually it looks a graphical interpretation of Rolex's fluted bezel. So the fluted bezel is so beautiful and so amazing that they decided to lay that in to this dial here so that you can see it. And if you compare this one to its champagne index, the regular champagne index, which just has a basic sunray finish, I actually think this one looks quite a bit better, and it's a little bit more interesting. Has a little bit lighter of a color, and although it still kind of looks champagne, but it has, you know, this motif here. It's almost kind of like the Louis Vuitton, those little squares that I forgot the name of them, but it's anyways, as you see here, it's pretty cool, and it just came out. This dial has only been out for, I think, since 22 or 23, so pretty nice. Okay, and it also has this index, which if you shine a light at it, it will just show up as indexes. You can see it at nighttime, which on, for example, if it's diamond, you can't see it, and also if it's Roman, you can't see it. So indexes have a big benefit in that. Okay, now let's move on to the bracelet here. Now the bracelet is your standard Jubilee bracelet. It's Rolex's also most iconic bracelet. The Jubilee bracelet, I would say it's number 2 most recognizable part right after the bezel. Now Rolex also makes the bracelet in oyster bracelet, but I would say that the Jubilee is more recognizable. And it's actually also more comfortable because the links are spaced closer together. And it has 5 links across as opposed to 3. Okay, now let's move on. And it also has, by the way, I should say, a comfort extension of 5mm, so you don't need to use any tools to change the length of the bracelet. You just simply pull on it and it'll open. Okay, and it doesn't have a hidden clasp either, and I believe that's because it gives the watch a more balanced look. You have the top, the head, the bracelet, and then the buckle. Whereas on ladies, since the watch is smaller, you don't have this buckle. It's just a hidden bracelet. Okay, anyways, let's move on. The movement here is a upgraded 3235. It used to be a 3135, but this reference number has the new model number, has a power reserve of 70 hours, and is precise to ±2 seconds. Okay, let's try this watch on. I am 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, and I have a 2.5-inch wrist, or 7.5-inch wrist. And as you can see, the watch looks just fine on me. And as I stated, for those who have a wrist sizes between 7 and 8 inches, that this will be a perfect watch for you. Now, the Datejust is a iconic dress watch from Rolex. I believe it's just that. It's a dress watch. It should be worn that way. And in this configuration, I think it's a modernized version of the champagne index. I think it looks fantastic, and I think that it can be worn in so many different situations. So I definitely have to give this watch a thumbs up, and if you want to buy it, go to jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.